we begin this morning and our speakers, we wanted to have a very special part of our program. And with that, I wanted to reintroduce Dr. Bozoki, one of our fellow board members and member of the faculty at UNC Chapel Hill. So with that, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Heather. Good morning. I wanted to share a short remembrance of Dan. I first met Dan Kaufer at an American Academy of Neurology conference in 2010. I can still see in my mind's eye his bold and self-assured stride as he walked around a poster session, schmoozing with nearly every postdoc standing near their work. He exuded curiosity and enthusiasm as he talked to scientists of all kinds. He was equally at home with basic bench researchers, neuroimaging experts, and pharmacologists. He managed to interact with everyone on their own terms, asking the right questions. And when he left, people would be visibly energized as he walked away. I didn't know then how much of a role he was going to play in my career. But at that time, I made a point of sitting down over coffee with him to learn about his work, and we struck up a friendship that had lasted until now. Over the next decade, we moved in the same circles, we attended the same conferences, and I got to know him better and better. I learned that we had similar research interests, similar patient care philosophies, and a shared experience as the sole dementia specialist at our respective institutions. When I decided in late 2019 that it was time to move on from my institution, I reached out to Dan, knowing he knew practically everyone in the dementia care field and that I could trust him to give me solid advice. To my surprise and my delight, he suggested that I consider joining him at UNC as his partner. I could think of no better opportunity than to work side by side with this generous, engaging, and brilliant man. I started to make my arrangements, but then COVID hit, right? And UNC entered a hiring freeze. Disappointed, I moved on to look for other opportunities. My next contact with Dan came in late May of that year when, out of the blue, he called me again. Andrea, have you taken another job yet? No, Dan, I haven't. Why? No pressure, but I think the administration might be willing to hire you despite the hiring freeze now because I'm dying. And I told them that you would be the perfect replacement. I was devastated. I was dumbfounded, brokenhearted and crying. I listened while he explained that he wanted his patients to have the best care, and he wanted to be sure that when he was gone, they would have continuity with someone who had a similar treatment philosophy to his own. That was Dan. He was a matter of fact and unsentimental about his own death, focusing on the needs of others, making connections, and providing opportunity to others, even in his misfortune. This mixture of generosity and compassion is his legacy to every person he worked with. So it is only fitting that with this inaugural conference, we also begin giving an award in his honor to celebrate that legacy. And with that said, I give you back to Heather.
So it is my pleasure to give out the inaugural Dr. Daniel Kaufer Outstanding Service Award. And I wish we were all in person and we could applaud and stand up, but I hope you will join me in applauding. This award was given in honor of an individual for their commitment to outstanding volunteerism and making a difference for those living with dementia in North Carolina. This person shares in the values of our organization, which include dignity and compassion, engagement and connection, empowerment through knowledge and support. We feel that Dr. Kaufer shared and lived all of these values. That's why he was on our board, right? It is our honor to give this inaugural Dr. Daniel Kaufer Outstanding Service Award, let me turn it around, to Pat Snyder. And I'll show it here. Pat, you are a leader in this community and this organization and have helped so many caregivers become connected with the support, the resources, and the confidence that they needed. Your passion for creating community, which you've done here today, and empowering caregivers is exactly what this award is all about. We want to thank you for everything that you do, and we cannot think of a better first recipient, and we know that Dr. Kaufer would feel the same. So please join me, and we will send out a picture of this. It's a little hard to see. Maybe I can get it back.
I can hardly breathe. I think pretty much anybody who knows me doesn't know me for too long without knowing how much I adored this man like a brother. And everything you said, Dr. Bozoki, everything you said, I was like, I was doing this. He was absolutely the consummate physician. He gave me 5 good years with my precious John that I would not have had at that level. And he gave me a mission. That day he told me preserve personhood. And the day he told me to write a book, go out and tell people what you're doing because John's doing so well. I guess he just launched me on this thing, and I cannot, there is nothing in my life award-wide that touches this. Nothing. Thank you. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk.
You got a few minutes to collect yourself, so don't worry.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it is definitely true, and I just, from the bottom of my heart, we love you and thank you for all that you do, not only here in North Carolina, but just across the nation. And thank you.
Oh, goodness.